such beings or spirits that are implicated to addiction to alcohol, as he goes through the passage, alcohol, narcotics, nicotine, and the like. He didn't give that, but you have a whole areas of possible addiction that man can go through. Okay. Illness. I do think illness can be caused by the evil one as well. You know, a lot of people would say, well, you know, especially in the medical world, there is a cause, it's chemical, there is a reason for that. But working in the medical field, there are a lot of diseases that cannot be explained. Certain words, diagnoses that are general diagnosis because the doctor cannot pinpoint what's causing, you know, a certain, what's happening. Symptoms, impairment, deal with your sepsis or things like that. It's just a general diagnosis without specific, you know, impairment. And we do know that Jesus, when he healed people, what did he do? He drove out demons of affliction. So we do know that demons can cause illness. Do you believe that? Yes. I don't think so too. Spiritual problems. When we talk about spiritual problems and possible attack of the evil one here, he could incite what we call rigorous self-denial and severely legalistic approach. You know, and then it would lead to condemnation of yourself. I fall into sometimes this one especially, also you become judgmental. Evil spirit can inspire Christians to judge other Christians harshly and adopt an extremely self-righteous posture. You know, you being self-righteous. You know, you gotta be watchful for that. It might be an attack of the evil one. And being self-righteous, so you know, I'm glad I'm not doing that because you know, I'm just doing good and you know, judge our brothers and sisters in that respect. Fear of God's work. Here, a lot of experience with this too. Whenever God is beginning to work in power, Satan can be expected to try to obstruct the path. How many times when we do LSS, you know, just before the praying over, a lot of people would, you know, be busy or would say, I have a lot of reasons I'm not ready to give my life to the Lord. A few times right before the start of the LSS, the leaders would not be in harmony. I remember, I think the first one I led was Renz and I could not stand Renz. It's like, I'm leading, but why is this guy telling me what to do? But I was just, it was like, almost like, I don't want to do this, you know. But it just gives you, and it was irrational anger on my part. I remember that. But that's another area that, you know, I think the devil really works is when, you know, somebody's getting to start a relationship with the Lord, he really does prevent that. So, kind of like, before we go to the solution, which we want to emphasize, sort of a disclaimer here that we have, Christians shall not oversimplify or over-spiritualize their personal problems by attributing all problems to Satan. Many forces, not all of them Satan, cause us trouble. To attribute everything to Satan can itself be one of his deceptions. However, Christians must be aware of spiritual realities. Okay? There's the need for discernment, brothers and sisters, and that's why we're going through this course. As I've said, we went through, you know, the world, the flesh, wrongdoings, and we're giving. I think the teaching is giving us tools, knowledge, and wisdom to be able to detect this, these things, so that we will be able to have that personal freedom. As we go through, we're going to go through the solutions. We're going to have tools to combat, as far as this talk is concerned, the works of the evil one. Okay. I remember I went to a course lately on a specific style in physical therapy. It was a 2-week course, very intense. I went there, I was like, just show me the solutions, you know. Give me how I should do the facilitation, the handling, But to my surprise and to my liking as well, the first week of one day, all we talked about was normal movement and how to zone in the cause of the problem. Because they are right. You may facilitate, you may solve the problem, but if you don't know the root cause, you will have a band-aid fix. Kumbaga. It's not a permanent solution. So it's very important that we discern what is causing, our personal problems. Okay, for personal freedom. Could it be sin? Could it be the flesh, the world? Could it be the devil? Because if it is sin, we have to repent and have reconciliation. And if it's Satan, and we've experienced this, I've experienced this before, even though you go, confess reconciliation, you still have that problem, and it can be from the evil one. Is that understandable, brothers and sisters? Okay. So the solution for this is what we have. Scriptures gives us the armor of God. Once we discern that evil spirits are implicated in the problem, we need to know what weapons to use against them. And we're gonna, all of us, hopefully we can read this. Let's all read this important passage, the armor of God in Ephesians 6. Let's read it all together. Put on the full armor of God, that you may be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but
against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in heavenly places. Therefore, take up the full armor of God, that you may be able to resist in the evil day, and having done everything, to stand firm.
Stand firm, therefore, having girded your loins with truth,
and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet, preparation of the gospel of peace. In addition to all, taking up the shield of faith, with which you will be able to extinguish all the flaming missiles of the evil one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God.
Okay, so that is the armor of God. That is the solution. So we're going to have a group activity this time. I can just enumerate what these are, but I really believe that with the workings of the Spirit, I think we know, how the Spirit would work and use this armor of God to our advantage as a solution, as a defense. So what I'm going to do, we're going to divide ourselves into four, okay? We're going to divide ourselves into four, and we're going to talk about, each one of you, I'm going to give a paper, so you're going to discuss amongst your group, for example, truth. What is truth? Second question, how can truth be a solution or defense against the devil? And then the third is give specific example, real life experience, and how truth has helped you in overcoming the devil. Okay? And the goal here, brothers, my goal here is so that we would kind of like internalize and we're going to come out of here and be able to really say there's a specific solution for us to use, a specific way for us to use this defense, okay? So it just would stick more in our minds. And then after that, designate one of you to just give us a brief summary of what you talk about, of what is the truth or what is faith, how can faith be a solution, and then give a real life example, okay? So we'll just divide it in a group. This would be the first group, second group, third, and fourth. I'll give you truth here. And we'll do this for 10 minutes. Okay? This side will be righteousness. How can righteousness be a solution? Please give specific example.